Telling all these suckers where they at, man. Seeing through your cap, cause my vision is a CAT scan. Trying to get up in the game like I'm Pac-Man. So I'm blacking out on the track like I'm Batman. Call me Captain, always gotta look for.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Case Court Podcast. It's your boy Case, the realest basketball fan alive, and I'm live from Las Vegas, Nevada, West Side. Thank you for tuning in. This is season 3, episode 6, and I'm here with your boy. Well, I'm here with the 2 finalists in our bubble league, and the first one is your boy Adrian in Colorado. How you doing, man?
I appreciate you choosing me first there, Case.
I mean,
doing all right.
I mean, we gotta build the climax because, start with the runner-up. You feel me?
Yeah, you gotta pass the peaks to hit the summit, baby.
Yeah, man. You just heard his voice. You know what I'm saying? We got the champion, the back-to-back champ. You know what I'm saying? We just started the league last year, so we have no other champion but him, the one and only Mutombo out in Atlanta. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Pumped to be on here with you guys. Always fun.
All right, for sure. Yeah, man, we're glad to hear from you, too. Glad to have you back. And just a quick background, we give detailed analysis of NBA rosters as we cover our fantasy basketball network called The Association. We got members from all parts of the world, all using real-life salaries outside of the first one because, once you go cap, you don't go back. You feel me? So today, our topics are, of course, the fantasy playoffs because, like I just said, we just wrapped it up. We got our 2 finalists here in the building, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to talk about the championship and what went down. And we're going to talk about the new Big 3 league that we just created that we're actually drafting for right now. So you guys ready to get up in all this?
Oh, yes.
So ready.
All right, for sure. So, this time, since we haven't been showing March Madness love across the podcast, I figured we start with them and the playoff run and that happened within March Madness. And, shout out to Jerome, the LSU Tigers, the champs. Congrats. I'm going to give them a quick applaud. You feel me?
Congrats, Jerome.
Yeah, congrats, Jerome. You know what I'm saying? He smacked Justin Will Smith style. After, you feel me? So, the thing that stood out to me to this league was across all leagues, this one had the most smack talk. You know what I'm saying? As soon as the playoffs started, the smack talk went crazy. And I think, Mutombo, you mentioned how the chat had just turned into a WWE smack. like that. You know what I'm saying? So, I guess, Justin, as usual, making himself the villain because he's proclaiming victory before it happens. So, and then he has this no mercy on his opponents, but he's full of excuses when he loses. So, it's funny to see how that flips on his face in the final. Although he did make the finals, so congrats to him on making it that far as well. So it's not all negative, but sometimes when you set the bar too high, that's what happens. You feel me? So, I guess essentially he sparked Jerome to start talking reckless. It got so ugly that me and Mutombo, we're March Madness rivals. I'm a Duke fan, he's a UNC fan. We were actually rooting for each other. You know what I'm saying? We're rooting to be in the finals and, set this rival. That would have been a nice final matchup.
The only thing that can bring the world together is Justin as the villain.
Right. Justin against the world, right? but yeah, that was funny because we both were on a Cinderella run, so that was interesting for us to both make it to the semis. But we eventually lost to Jerome and Justin. So just overall, I think just the nature of points league, this playoffs had upsets left and right. It was almost unpredictable to a degree. I wouldn't say to a degree because you could just look at the total games and kind of gauge who's probably going to win the matchup. But overall, you couldn't just look at the seeding and kind of assume the better seed was going to win. So I'll start with you, Mutombo, since you're already feeding into the combo. How do you see the playoffs in the March Madness? What's your overall feedback?
Oh yeah, no, I thought it was a lot of fun. It was I thought it was a unique league, and it's cool because Adrian is who put it together, right? So
absolutely,
I thought that the scoring was interesting. It definitely played a part in my drafting and the players that I picked. I'm sure it did for others too. But it was really entertaining toward the end of the year there to see some of those upsets. And like you said, we had the 2 Cinderella runs, and I was bummed that mine ended the way that it ended, but I mean, Justin had an awesome team, but I also was surprised at some of the other matchups. I'm trying to go back and think of what they were. I personally got super lucky because Fultz came back for the playoffs, and I'm looking forward to next year's because I'll get Jamal Murray back. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. That was very impressive of you to go on that run with Jamal Murray just waning in the bottom. So that's something to highlight. To looking forward into next season.
Yeah, I don't know if Adrian, did you think that did it play out the way that you thought as like the commish?
Yeah, I mean, good question. I would say yes, and when I say yes, I mean you just never know what to expect, and so it was just full of surprises and randomness. So yeah, I mean, I think it's great, and I think it's just a little bit different, right? Doing the points leagues compared to categories. Categories you can sort of predict, or it's just like a different game almost. And so I feel like it's fun to just have a variety of different leagues that we have across our different, across our server. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. And, you guys have been praising Jerome and Justin, which is obviously well deserved. But yeah, I mean, also, shout out to the both of you for making it all the way to the semis. Mutombo, as Kase, you just stated, he had Jamal Murray out all year, and in Kase, I think you had a team that was like, you were potentially looking at tanking at the beginning, and so you did a very nice job as well.
Yeah, my teams are usually disguised as that, like it's a tanking team. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, yeah, I definitely wasn't looking to contend this season. Like, I wasn't contending hard. I was just drafting a lot of good young guys that I like. And but essentially, when Levine became available, because I drafted Ben Simmons, so I was taking the whole like young core. If I have to tank, I have to tank. If we're good, we're good. When once Levine was available for that Ben Simmons, I made that swap. All right, come on, listen. Okongwu came back and all that. So yeah, it's all about matchups as well.
That Okongwu move was pretty. I mean, that was pretty big for you, right? Because that wasn't. Yeah. You drafted him, right? Or did you?
Yeah. He was like the 6th or 7th round.
And the way that this league is set up is big points for things that he's really good at, right? Like blocks.
Absolutely. He has a lot of upside in the league with this.
Yeah, so getting him back, that was huge for you.
Yeah, definitely.
And especially when John Collins went down.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Yeah, that's a factor. That's a factor as well. But essentially, it comes down to matchups and, going back to the first round, because I know I did run into Eden's Wolverines, who had both Chris Paul and AD out. So
right.
That probably would have been more rocky if he had his full.
Yeah, I was going to mention that, right? You came in as the 15th seed and upset the 2nd seed, but he was unfortunately in a situation where he got some major injuries, and so didn't really stand much of a chance. And yeah, that's right. And so he made all the semis.
Yeah, definitely. And
so we're calling this a cupcake championship then, since there were some injuries, right? That's what we do in this league, right?
I mean, Justin called it a Mickey Mouse ring himself, so.
Hey, if you're not first, you're last.
Right. That's his nickname. If you're not first, you're last. But going back to that first round with Mutombo, I remember your matchup with the Eagles. It was kind of funny how he came out kind of frustrated with his injuries.
Yeah.
So, it's just funny to see different reactions based on the outcomes.
What was his injury? What was his injuries? I can't remember. Dean Wade and Wiseman?
That's hilarious. No. Wait. Let me think back. I think
I'm looking at his roster. I think when he lost it was
Bridges and
Jokic. Well, I think Jokic sat for one game. He was like unbelievable.
Yeah, but someone else was injured too. He had it was either Conley, Smart.
Might have been Conley, yeah.
Yeah,
Conley rested.
Guys were injured too, so.
That's right.
Hey, it takes a little bit of luck, man.
But I mean, but that's responded to him saying, "Hey, you have Murray out." You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, in fact, Murray being out helps Jokic if you want to be real about it. So, but yeah, that's just the playoffs, man. Like, at the end of the day, like, injuries happen, so you just want to be healthy at the right time and get the right matchups and,
Totally.
yeah, push on through. I mean, Adrian, do you have any extra comments, I guess, on that playoff run that you wanted to add in? Yeah, I know you were tanking, so it's probably harder for you to talk about.
I was tanking and trying to get a spot towards the bottom, which I didn't do so well at. I was just trying to look at the second round, like who kind of missed out. I think the Mustangs with Colby, he was like just there at taking down Jerome. Like looking at that score, it was like 1,100 to 1,000.
Yeah.
Case in your case, you made it to semis just getting 730. So you were like well behind the both of them. So I think he just kind of got a tough draw there and wasn't able to make it out of the quarters.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And looking at the first round, like I guess I was just looking at the first round. This stood out to me how certain teams got like 430, like UCLA Bruins, or like 500 lanes, like Georgia Tech. That's kind of shocking that Georgia Tech could get 500. NYU Violets. I mean, it's probably injury based, but that's just the nature of points leagues and how just because this Cal State team dropped 1,000 doesn't mean it's 2 times better than this team that dropped 500. So,
well, I think the other thing with playoffs and points league that's really important is honestly just scheduling. Like if you've got one of your top guys who's got a 4-game slate, like that is huge compared to having a 2-game slate. Like that can make a really big difference and just make the difference in the entire matchup.
Yeah.
It really is a big impact.
He's foreshadowing. He's trying to lay the groundwork for some excuses coming up later. I can tell already.
Hey, I'm thinking. I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah, absolutely. I guess shout out to some of the smack talk because I guess the one that I'll probably never forget is the vacation that Jerome was trying to call me. In the second,
there was a lot of smack talk this year.
Yeah.
It definitely made it fun and entertaining, but at times it was like, geez, guys.
It was funny. Like he called me a bye week or whatever, but
I loved it.
60 points, and I had no Ingram. So if I had Ingram, that probably would have been a different story. But
I loved it. I love the smack talking.
Yeah, no, for sure. That was funny to me. But
can never take anybody too serious.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I said in the beginning. Like Justin sparked the fire under Jerome, and he just started going off.
Sure did.
So, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to next season because I know Adrian, you're probably not going to be tanking, or I don't know, are you? What's your plans for next season? Let's hear it.
I have no idea, to be honest. I've got a couple of guys that are good to compete. I've got a lot of draft picks, so I think a lot will depend on just the off season and how the lottery turns out. And I think from there I'll kind of have to start figuring out and making some decisions on what I want to do.
I'm going to take a wild guess here and guess that, I don't know, Case, what do you think? Over under 3 current rostered players still on his team next year?
I say under. I'm going with 2.
Yeah, you can never know what this guy is going to do. He's going to repass the lineup.
Well, let me look at his team real quick.
Well, I'm actually looking at it now, and I didn't know that I traded my 2023 first, so that might influence my decisions.
He's probably going to keep KJ Martin and Cole Anthony.
Trade everyone else?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Halliburton's leaving.
I mean, Halliburton got a lot of... Yeah. Halliburton's too wanted. I mean, even though Adrian values Halliburton because he got him in the first round, but he's wanted, so...
Actually, I got Christian Wood in the first round. I got Halliburton second.
Did you? Oh, shit.
Yeah, that was a bad first pick.
Okay.
Well, you made up for it with the second, I think, so...
I'm sure glad that he was still available for sure. I was really hoping for Anthony Edwards and Elton Smedson.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, we'll see, because I know more teams are probably going to be trying to compete next year, so it'll be more of a Royal Rumble and interesting to watch, because when we look around, I don't think people are going to be tanking. Like, nobody's scared. You know what I'm saying? There's no team you're scared of in that March.
So why don't we do, who do we think is going to win next season?
Next season? Yeah, Duke. It's easy, Duke.
Tar Heels.
I'm gonna go with the Mustangs.
Okay, that's a good shout out.
I think he's gonna come back. Kobe's gonna come back and take it all the way with his big man duo of Embiid and Towns.
I'm fairly certain he had someone out. I mean, I'm looking here. He'd won 12 straight going into the playoffs, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, yeah, his team's really good.
Well, I mean, I was about to ask a question, but I guess it's an obvious answer, because I was going to say, out of all the non-playoff teams, which one do you think will be in the playoffs next season? Definitely Miners, right? Well, I mean,
I'm going to try. Who else didn't make it?
I'll say Cowboys probably, because that's his MO.
Who?
Honestly, I have trouble with these.
Oklahoma State, yeah.
I have trouble remembering some of these. I've got the court. I've got Bubble down with everyone that owns every team.
No, I feel it like you haven't really. Yeah, like you don't really know who owns who and who's on which team, kind of on this year. No,
I think. I mean, there's some interesting teams down there, like that. I'm just flipping through. I mean, example, Brett Boilermakers, right? He's got a bunch of rookies that played really well this year. Davion Mitchell started playing better toward the end, and then Tatum and Sadiq Bey and Keon Johnson didn't even play this year, really, right? So
he has a nice starting five. Yeah.
And TJ McConnell was out all year.
Actually, he's gonna have a really good season.
Yeah, I think Brett could turn it up. I think he might have traded for a couple picks too, if I remember, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
He's got his own pick, so he's got it's a top one. It's top three, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's top three. So that's gonna be a dangerous team going into next season.
For sure. I think I'd pick him to make the playoffs.
Yeah. And if not next season, definitely the season after that.
Right.
Yep.
Very young. If he can keep it together salary wise, he'll be in good shape.
Yeah. I like it. And then we got Q's. Q's had Isaac, Patrick Williams out all year. You had
you got Luka, right?
Ball out a lot. He's got Luka there. That team could do something. Yeah, there's a bunch of interesting ones down there. And what you guys are saying is right. I like this league because you got no idea. I mean, someone comes out of nowhere and blocks 3 shots in a game. I mean, that's like 45 points in this league. So you never know.
Right.
Give or take, but yeah.
Yeah. But I guess that should be about enough, I guess, for the playoff run on this league. You know, congrats again to Jerome. You know, semi-congrats to Justin for making to the finals. You know, and a tiny congrats to me and Mutombo for making to semis.
Go road.
A humble congratulations.
Yeah, for sure. And then
I'm patting myself on the back right now.
All right, for sure. Good job. All right, so no, keep your hand there because we're moving on to the next league. So moving on to the next league, the Bubble. Mutombo, congrats to you.
Let me know when we're moving to the court, okay?
Okay, moving on to the next league, the court. I'm just playing.
Just run the tape from last year and we can move on.
Just run the tape. All right, but congrats to you, Mutombo.
Thank you.
College Park Skyhawks, the champs, back-to-back champs. You know, we got to turn this into Detroit Pistons and don't let them be the Bulls, man. Don't let them pull no Lakers on us. You feel me? But my analysis is he finger-waved Adrian with the clutch block win. You know, that the irony, Mutombo. You feel me? And what's interesting about this finals is how just the whole league was just hating on the finals.
Very true.
want none of y'all to win. You know, to trade you in, who we know is just fleecing everybody in the off seasons. You know, as he's about to do a March Madness, and Tumbo over here, who's a champion. You don't want the champion to win again. You know, because that's your pride, your ego. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, league, we got to step up. You know, so
it's a lot different vibes in the than last year. I feel like I was. I remember Joy and a bunch of people said they were rooting for me, and then
you were the darling angel last year.
I was, and then this year it was like I was the ugly stepmother or something, and no one wanted me to win. So,
hey man, that pendulum theory I be talking about.
I tell you what, though, it made me really want to fucking win. When everyone was rooting against me, I wanted to win so bad.
Yo, you know what hit me during the finals was when we were talking about our trade, right? Remember our trade about PJ Washington and Cam?
Yeah,
Cam Johnson. Yeah, we were like,
we almost did it.
Yeah, we're this close to swapping PJ Washington and Cam Johnson, and I remember you telling me, "Geez, I gotta figure out a way to beat Adrian."
Yeah.
And then fast forward, you're in the finals. I'm like, yo, this really happened. He in the finals, so you got to figure out a way to beat Adrian.
So, yeah, I mean, I decided just to try to get as many playable players as possible. So I traded my pick for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, which was like, I mean, he won the series, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He went nuts in the last few games. So adding him to my team without giving up any players was, I mean, huge for me.
Oh,
and then I had Trey Lyles and Frank Jackson and someone coming back from injury. So I wanted to try to get some more minors players. So that's when I traded Trey Lyles for Austin Reeves, and I ended up trading away my boy, who you guys know I love, Frank Jackson, for Killian Tilly and someone, I think, just because I wanted to be able to put minor players in and out.
Mm-hmm.
I needed as many counting stats as I could get. And I lucked out. I really did. I lucked out.
The deciding category was blocks, right? And going into the last day, we were tied. And Mutombo ended up getting 4 blocks on that Sunday, 2 by KCP, 1 by Bruce Brown, who, mind you, the game before also got 4 blocks, which killed me. And then he got 1 by Looney. And I had Robert Williams, and so I was hesitantly confident that, like, I could at least even out blocks, and I had the tiebreaker. Mm-hmm. And he only got 1. And then I had Melo get 1, Carmelo Anthony, and I don't remember who my third one was. I think I picked up some scrub that signed a 10-day.
Oh my God! Talk about
on Detroit.
Furious.
Braxton Key. I read that in the G League he was averaging 1.5 blocks, and so I was like, you know what? I'm going to put him in over like a Patty Mills. He's more likely to get a block, and he did. So I was very happy with that, but. It just wasn't enough. With
I can't even put into words, Adrian. I can't even put into words how angry I was watching Justin Anderson and fucking who was Make 'em Dance Lance and who else?
Hey, you dropped Lance. That was your fault.
All these guys just, I mean, Justin Anderson, I think, almost had a triple-double in 2 of the games that he played. It was insane.
Case, I'll tell you, like, Thursday, Friday, Mutombo was messaging me, just being like, I'm not enjoying this matchup. This is terrible.
I wasn't. I was not enjoying it at all. Justin Anderson, who signed with the Pacers the day before, and then they throw him in the starting lineup. I'm like, oh my God. But I mean, kudos to you though. Those were really good pickups. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. That was great pickups.
Well, I think I had Sabonis got injured, and so I basically had an open roster spot, and so I was just kind of peeking at the waiver wire and seeing like if there was anyone that could do me anything, and happened to come across that one. I was like, I'll give it a go.
Yeah, I mean,
But I thought I had blocks secured. I was getting him for other reasons, like just for like rebounds and assists and stuff. And yeah, that was killer.
What's crazy is, I mean, I thought I was just done for in the playoffs because, you know, Ja was out, right? I don't think I had Ja didn't play at all.
You didn't play Ja. Yeah, I didn't play Sabonis, and you didn't play Ja.
And you know what's crazy is that allowed. I picked up Wenyen Gabriel, who I think had a block in the last game too. So
yeah, he did.
Just kind of crazy how that worked out. But who knows what things would have looked like otherwise, right? If Ja's playing, who knows if field goal percentage ends up the same way? Maybe I mean, I lost by 8 assists. I probably flip assists. Who knows? But just.
There were so many close ones.
Yeah,
it was really frustrating for me because you beat me both in the regular season and in the playoffs. And the week before in playoffs, like I looked at my stats versus yours, and I would have beat you like 6-3 or 7-2, like comfortably. And in the regular season, the week after I played you, I would have 9-0'd you. And so it's just like, it's unbelievable how much of a kryptonite Mutombo is to my team. I just can't beat you. You knocked me out in the playoffs last year, and you got me both times this year. So
you would have 9-0'd me. When would you have 9? Well, I need to see.
Go look. I couldn't believe it either.
I think there's some revisionist.
You just attacked his pride right there.
He sounds like JB right now.
9-0'd you. But you know that just speaks volumes to like timing, the whole timing thing, and just you know, like you might have a player that's going off this week, and then he's just doing nothing the next week. So, you know, that's just a roll of dice, man, and you just
absolutely
hope to put together a good team that could win on most weeks. You know,
absolutely. No, it was a hell of a matchup. I cannot say that I thought it would end this way. Playing Adrian, your team is awesome.
Same to you, man.
But it was. I mean, I feel like it was exactly what Kase, you were saying people were hating on it, but at the same time, we were tied going into like the last game of the playoffs. You know, I mean, how can you get a better finals, right? Better than if he 9-0'd me, right?
Yeah, right. But everybody's just looking at it, even though it's like a tied up game, like you're going to the finals, you still go, because it's like it's two teams that you don't. Because if you want both teams to lose,
yeah,
you want it to end. So you're even mad on Sunday. Someone's about to win today.
So Mutombo, I just looked it up. Go look at week 15 of the regular season. I would have 9-0'd you.
Nah, I look forward. I look forward, not to the past.
I just gotta take my little wins where I can get them.
Sparking.
I'm just playing. Yeah, I mean, any week, you know what can happen. I mean, a 9-0, that would have been embarrassing. I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yeah,
I almost got 9-0'd in the court, and which I'm sure we'll get to next. But yeah, I almost got 9-0'd in the playoffs.
No. I'm about to throw Mutombo and alley-oop here because I'm just looking at these playoffs and I'm looking at there's two upsets that stand out to me because overall Final Four wasn't surprising. You know, it's you two that eventually played in the finals and Rich, who has a pretty good team, and Brax, who was in the finals last year. So it wasn't shocking. I mean, how Rich got there though was one of the upsets that I noticed, which was between him and
that's Joy.
Yeah, him and Joy. Yeah. So that was a pretty interesting upset. That I guess that was the one upset that stood out to me, just based on Joy's expectation. But
Joy's got a really good team.
Yeah, but I guess to me personally, after that Luka trade, his value did take a hit. But if you think about it, that take overall, even though he did get that upset, that take was kind of false if you look at the playoffs because Maxey was still performing in that span, and so was Bamba to a degree.
Yeah.
So he probably. I mean, but I guess compared to what Luka was doing, I don't know if it kind of balanced out, but he made that move for the future anyways. It wasn't just for this season, so not to harp on that one. But the only other upset that I noticed here was, Matt and his Skyforce beating Mutombo, Mutombo's boy, JB.
Yeah, JB, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Got something to say about that, or what?
Memes probably must just be a regular season team or something. Sorry about that.
Oh man, regular season team.
Don't worry about that.
JB got really unlucky though. I think he had every star player decide to get hurt and sit just that week. But that week only. It's not like they got injured and were just out. It was just we're just gonna sit for this week and then we're gonna all come back. FEV, and I think there was one or two other guys that he just lost all at the same time.
Yeah. He was going through a lot of injuries that week.
Yeah. I just love how overrated my team is, and
but plus Skyforce on the flip side, Skyforce did have Malachi Flynn that was going off that week, if I remember correctly. So
Skyforce is a fun team, I think, right?
Yeah, with Giddy and Halliburton in Indiana now is woo.
Yeah, that's a fun team. A lot of fun teams. Kase, you and I had a matchup too.
Oh yeah, definitely. You took me out in the second round?
Yeah, I kept getting told I was going to lose every round. I got told that Hurd was going to beat me. I got told everyone was going to beat me.
Who said I was going to beat you?
You know what? I don't know if anyone said you were going to beat me. People definitely said that Hurd was going to beat me.
Yeah, I had a chance at getting Halliburton from Skyforce, right before the season started.
Oh.
He wanted to do BAM for Halliburton straight.
Oh.
And at the time, just wasn't feeling it. And thinking about it now, I kind of wish I did it. I think that would have come out really well.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I don't remember what I ended up doing with BAM anyway, so that would obviously change a lot of other things. But
you did. You traded BAM, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, I don't have him anymore.
Yeah, I can't keep up with your teams. I just have no idea who you
are. Me neither.
I play you 1 week in the season, and then I play you again, and it's playing a completely different team.
I might try to keep a little bit more stability going into this next year at least. I think I can afford it cap-wise for the most part. Might make a few changes, but I say that now, and we'll see what August looks like.
Yeah, I'm gonna eventually start having to plan for some cap space too. That's my. That was another thing that was crazy good for me is being able to. I traded. I talked about it a lot because it was funny to me, but I traded a second rounder for Kevin Love. There's a 0% chance I win this league without Kevin Love. So I gave away 2 picks for 2 guys that were probably 2 of my top
instrumental
5 or 6 players
to your winning
team. Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Ja's got 1 more year, right, on his rookie?
I think Ja has 1 more year on his rookie contract. But then here's the interesting thing, and I don't know how long he'll play, but that's the same time Kevin Love is off his contract. And I don't think he's going to be making $31 million a year again. So I might be able to keep it might, overlap in a convenient way for me, but
PJ Washington gets cashed out. Doesn't his go up or it already hit?
Oh no, I'm sure he'll get paid, but
yeah, your team might be different even though you trade once every 2 years.
You know what? I make trades.
You trade your second rounders and your minors, man.
What's that?
I said you trade your second rounders and your minors.
Why would I trade my good players? I want to keep my good. I don't need other good players. My good players won. I feel like when I traded to get Ja, I had to trade some good players.
That's true. That was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago. It still happened. I think I traded for Cole Anthony. I traded for a bunch of these guys, actually.
No, you drafted Cole Anthony.
No, I didn't.
You sure? Okay.
I traded Isaac Okoro for him. I traded to get Isaac Okoro, and then I traded Isaac Okoro for Cole Anthony last year as well.
Ah,
no,
okay, okay.
trust me, I wanted to
Please
draft
tell me
him.
you didn't get Cole Anthony for Okoro straight.
I think I did. I might have gotten a second too.
Oh, jeez.
I think that might have been
Yeah,
Troy.
I mean, because if you think about Okoro was like what, a 6th pick or like a top 10 pick, and Cole Anthony was
Real
like,
life?
yeah.
He was like 4th.
Yeah, he was like 6th. Wait, was he 4th? I thought he was like 6th.
I think he was 4th.
Okay, potentially. But overall, yeah, he was a top 4 or 5 pick as opposed to Cole Anthony, who fell out of the top 10. I think he was like 12 or something.
Yeah.
So.
My roster is too big right now, though. But that was intentional, right? I've got these minors. I've got Corey Kispert. I traded for Austin Reeves, picked up Gabriel so I could flip them in and out. But
Kase, I lied. He was 5.
He was 5, right?
Yeah, Patrick Williams was 4.
Oh,
yeah, the reach of the
those
draft.
2 mix.
But yeah, I'm going to be open for business coming up soon.
All right, for sure. You guys hear that? Mutombo open for business, but he might block you.
Yeah,
So,
I've only blocked one person, and don't you know, we're on good terms right now, so we don't need to talk about blocking.
all right, bet. All right, I think that's probably enough for the bubble. Let's move on to the OG league. You know what I'm saying? The court. And congratulations to Nick and Phoenix Suns. You know what I'm saying? Champs. Congrats to that. You know what I'm saying? And definitely, you know, what was so impressive about this league was both finalists were new teams that came into this league that picked from the dispersal draft. So, I mean, I'm not as shocked that Nick had a run and his Phoenix Suns, but it was the Knicks. The irony, right?
Yeah.
It was actually I mean, I'm gonna call him, how do you say his name? Maka?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just call him Maka. Him and his Knicks. I remember I did a trade with him, right? And I traded for a second because I was looking at his team like, okay, this team has potential, but it's real young. They're probably not gonna be good, you know. So let me get his second, and thinking it might be like an early second potentially. You know, and see him make it to the playoffs and actually make it to the finals. You know, salute to that, man. I'm highly impressed with what he did there.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I want to give a shout out to Nick because he came into the court with me like towards the end of year 2, and so you know he in this one season went from being in a dispersal to winning the league, which I thought was really awesome. So definitely big shout out to him, and you know he did a really good job.
That is awesome. I actually forgot that. That's very impressive.
Yeah, no. Both finalists were in the dispersal drafts. So
what does that say about the rest of us? My lord, that's
I don't think that Maka was.
Okay. So the Knicks weren't. He just inherited a team because the Knicks was new. Knicks was a new team that just came in.
Well, Knicks came in when Cash pieced out on us. Remember, he rage quit, right?
Yeah, but that was
that must have happened at the beginning, like right before year 2, right? Because Nick and I came towards the end of year 2, and we had like a 3-team dispersal, and it was me, Nick, and Joy.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because I think someone else owned that Knicks team, and they left, and then the new owner came because this new Maka came in this season. I'm pretty sure that he came in this season, and he because I made a trade with him as soon as he came in.
Okay. Yeah, I think. No, I think it was Cash rage quit. Then someone took over the team, and then they left. Right?
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
Absolutely. So, but yeah, congrats to both teams because they just started this season and they both made it to the finals. So, I guess you even emphasize even more that Nick was in the dispersal draft with you, and he, you know, everybody was looking at a lot of the trades that you made and were worried about you, but Nick is the one that won the whole thing. So that's definitely.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was worried about me and Chuck, right? We were saying, you know, two super teams, and we both went out in the quarters. Chuck got knocked out by the Knicks, and I got destroyed, like absolutely destroyed by Nate and the Timberwolves. And I don't even know, like you know, I had a couple of injuries, and so I, you know, traded away like Lillard and Paul George, but I traded them for other assets. So it wasn't that I was just like, oh, well, I lost because I had, all of these like top guys just sitting in IR. Like, I didn't really have much of an excuse. Like, Nate just destroyed me. So he almost went all the way and got stuck in semis by Nick.
Yeah. And speaking of that finals, how Mutombo, how you said you guys were tied in your finals going into Sunday. These guys actually tied.
I know. That was crazy.
How crazy is that?
and he
We've had two ties now in the last 2 years between Bubble and Court. Like, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
We were one block from 3. Unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. And exactly, 1 block, 1 3, tied in assist, 2 steals, 4 rebounds. This was dead even. Even 25 points isn't that big of a margin. Anybody could drop that like that.
Yeah. I like this Suns team too. And what's crazy about it is that he won the championship with Lonzo and Powell on the IR.
Ridiculous.
He's just got a bunch of guys that do a little bit of everything,
Exactly.
To you and Bubble.
Yep, exactly. But in Bubble, I have Joker. He doesn't have a Joker. He's got every single player on his team, I think, averages 10 points a game, except for maybe Kyle Anderson, right? He's got a bunch of guys that can score, right? No one's putting up 2 and 3. He's got a bunch of rebounders, block. It's a really well put together team.
Yeah,
definitely. And I guess for me, what felt good about seeing this win was just watching Nick since he came within the network or whatever. Just watching a lot of the moves he makes and like the draft picks he makes. I always thought that he was a good fantasy player. So seeing it come to fruition and seeing him win a championship was a good thing to see.
I heard his son is even better.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's jokes aside. Both these teams are really good, and
yeah, for sure. And then I guess tracing back to the Final Four overall, not just them two being in the finals was shocking, but the Final Four was pretty shocking. With even though our commish Jenner and his Pacers get into the Final Four, and like you said, the Timberwolves. That was like pretty much how you said earlier. Everybody's worried about Adrian's Dallas and Chuck's Kings. It's funny how they're not even here in the Final Four, and even like teams like Braxton Spurs. That's another team that you kind of expect to be in the mix just the way he built his team.
I had a battle with Brax first round.
Nice.
Thankfully able to get past him before I got whooped by the Wolves.
Okay. You guys were pretty much in the play. I was tanking in this league. You guys are in the playoffs. Is there anything that stood out to you guys? I'm gonna kind of leave the floor for you guys for this one. I don't know. It's Tumble. You got anything to, I guess, add in like the first or second round?
First or second round? I went out in the first round because I just couldn't get past without John Collins. I think I would have, if I remember correctly, if I'd had John Collins, I could have made it through. But I got knocked out in the first round by the Bulls, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't remember off the top of my head some of the other matchups, but I do know that. Oh shoot! Sorry, I was clicking around on the matchups, and then I clicked the wrong button. Hold on, I'm going.
Oh no, you're good.
Going back 1 week. I was, so it was the Knicks that knocked out Chuck, and it was the Suns that knocked out JB, who JB and Zed were the championship game the year before, right? Is that right?
Yep, JB,
Yep.
So, JB, Zed, yeah, that's crazy. Going from
winner to tanking.
Championship run to tank, yeah.
Well, he tried to tank, but his team was too good to tank.
Did someone get hurt? Why did he tank? I don't remember.
No,
I think he had a couple of injuries.
I think he had a injury coming in, like Okongwu, if he still has him, was injured, and Zion, right? So, I think those two
he had Zion
going into this,
and then I think he had MPJ.
Yeah,
he officially I think decided to tank when Bam was it a finger injury where he was out for at least like 6 to 8 weeks or something.
Yeah,
and at that point he was like, all right, I'm done.
Okay, yeah, that's just bad luck.
I think what happened was coming into the season. This is why my perspective on his team was, you're too good to tank, because he made the decision coming into the season that he's going to tank. Like, it wasn't like something that he was losing or guys were getting injured that he decided, okay, I'm just going to tank. Because, like, I remember coming into the season, he was saying, I don't know, what should I do with this team? I think I should just tank. I'm like, why? But I guess as the season started, that's when MPJ got hurt and Bam got hurt, and it kind of adds up. But I mean, still, like, even with those guys being hurt, his team was too good to tank. I don't think, does he even have a top 10 pick? He's probably like 11th or something like that. But I mean, it's his decision. He has a great team regardless, and he can still get a great player with that 11th pick. So you never know what how that could play out. But it was just interesting. Oh no, actually he's 23rd, so he does have a top 10.
Like a top 8 or so. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
One thing I really love about the court is like in general, like we've been talking about how every other league of ours is with a salary cap, and that's kind of there not just for an added element of fun, but also keeps things like it kind of keeps parity in the league, right, and avoids dynasties. I feel like the court, we've somehow got ourselves in a situation where there's like really good level of like talent just dispersed across various teams. And like, yeah, you can say Chuck's team on paper maybe looks a little scarier than most, but like, there's like, I mean, look at the final, right? Like it was two somewhat unexpected teams. One who has like no superstar whatsoever, the other who was just like a complete unexpected and surprise. There's just a lot of parity and just across the entire league. And I think that makes it really, really fun, because we had some teams that didn't even make playoffs that, if healthy, would be really competitive as well, right? You've got the Thunder with Justin's team, who's a team of misfits, and then you have Zed, and I think at least a couple other teams as well, who, if they went at it, we'd have a full 16 teams that could have an argument to actually go all the way.
Yeah, and I feel like this league has evolved to a point where you're probably not going to see as much fleecing, because just in general, just the managers we have overall, and just in the beginning, there were just so many, I guess, certain managers that were just all about certain favoritisms and whatnot. So you see a little bit less of that in this league, and we're definitely more aware of value. And we actually get in the way of like a new. I remember when I don't know who came in new, and then they had this weird. I think it was Fruto. I think it was him. But
yeah,
and we kind of got in the way of the trade. I mean, now he's a great evaluator of value now. But I mean, I remember we kind of got in the way of that trade. So this league is definitely conscious. Like we're conscious that, because there's no salaries, that things can get lopsided pretty quick. But I think just in combination of our awareness and just the managers we have now, that we should continue to have a competitive league, hopefully, even despite the salaries.
Yeah, no, I think it's an awesome league, and it helps when previous Mavs makes boneheaded stuff, and then we get to redraft the team, right? Yeah, because before we had the dispersal, we had some teams that were not filled with anyone. So I'm glad that we did the dispersal and not just take over a team, because that would have been really tough for the new owners.
Yeah, it's a good way of shuffling the deck overall. But I guess, are there any more comments about the court you guys wanted to add here?
I think from my end, we covered the court.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Well, I guess let's go real quick. I got same as March Madness. Who's going to win next year in Bubble, and who's going to win next year in Court?
I'm going to take myself.
So humble.
I'm going for all three. I'm just trying to.
I'm going to go. I'm going to go with
Justin.
Joy.
I'm pulling the Justin.
I think the blue will be a surprise and win Bubble next year.
I don't think that would be a surprise though. I think he could have won it this year.
You're right. It's not necessarily a surprise, but that's my pick.
That's a pick to win it.
I think you might win it.
Yeah, I mean, the time might be ticking on Adrian to win this one.
Yeah, I think he might win it.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with an Adrian Brax finals.
Yeah, Braxton's got a great team.
Yes. All right, and how about Court?
Teams. Court. Let me see. I don't know who is going to win. All I care is that I get like 6 games at least from a healthy team. I just need it. For what? How many years have we been doing the Court? 2 years? No, 3 years. 3 years?
3.
3 years? I don't think I've had Isaac, Collins. Who else do I have in there? Markkinen. They never have played together, so therefore I'm not taking me to win. Let me see. Who do you think, Adrian? Did you say already?
I was trying to think. I kind of want to not bet against the Joker and say Jenner might take it.
What do you think, Kase?
I think that'll be my dark horse pick.
Okay, I guess let me rewind my bubble take, and I'll take Lakeland Magic.
Oh, how did we not talk about Lakeland Magic?
That's a good one.
Oh, Lakeland, Mr. Black is really good at deals. I mean, that trade he made, I think, had everyone. I mean, I can't speak for Adrian, but I was like, damn, I don't want to play Mr. Black. Like,
no, I didn't want to either. I was literally just like calculating scores, like how do I get him to make sure he's on the other side of the bracket.
Yeah.
And I think he ended up being on my side, right? But then like had to play Brax or someone. I think that's what happened, and Brax was able to get past him.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, that move he made at the end of the year, I was like, "Ooh, we got an upset brewing here." With I mean, Wendell Carter Jr. He picked up Kuminga.
Yeah, Kuminga too, right?
But Kuminga started playing. I thought he had Kuminga, and he just started getting minutes and coming on strong. I could be wrong. I could be misremembering.
So
he might have traded for him too.
Brax played him first round and was able to get past him.
Well, Braxton's got a really good team.
He does, yeah.
I mean, that also kind of goes
a threat for next year. That was a good choice, Case.
Okay, in the Court, I'm going to roll with the Rish and the Warriors next season.
Okay. I don't know if they'll win, but the team that I'm like excited, I don't know if excited about is the right way to put it, but am I remembering correctly that the Bucks have not the Bucks. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the Herd in the bubble. I'm sorry. Hold on. Because he's got Ben Simmons, I think, on his team, and he's still made the playoffs, right?
Yes. Yep.
But let me see. For the Court, I mean, shoot, if I don't see why he can't shoot right back up is Zeke,
Utah, right? Zeke.
Right? I mean, I don't see any reason why not. He has TJ
I was feeling like that was easy. That was the first one I was going to say, but I feel like that was an easy pick since he already won it last season.
Oh,
but
sorry.
I guess you could knock it and say maybe MPJ doesn't return or needs time to return or something like that. But yeah, that's a good pick for sure. Wait, did Adrian say who he's picking or?
Yeah, I picked Jenner.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm sticking with the Joker.
Okay. Yeah. Joe. Yeah. Okay. I can see that. And Kevin Porter Jr. Yeah, that's a nice 1-2 combo right there. Siakam. Yeah, it's a good one.
For sure.
All right. So
Well, those are the big three leagues.
Okay. Yeah, the big three. Did you guys check Discord? Were some picks made, or what's going on? Where are we at with that?
There was a pick made, and they're asking for another spin.
Oh, Snoop. Oh, snap. Wait, did someone make a pick? Let's see.
Someone did make a pick.
Selection. All right. Oh, 3 picks. Okay, we got something to talk about. All right, but I guess we can't talk too much because of the rotation police, right?
Because of the what?
Rotation police. So,
well, they've already picked. We can talk about the picks, right?
Yeah, we can talk about
who's been picked. Yeah.
So I guess we can kind of start from the bottom. So, like, the most recent pick was Detroit Pistons, Bad Boys, with K, Bay, and
Beef Stew. Interesting.
Yeah, K Bay Beef Stew. I'm not a fan of Beef Stew, but I mean he's this is a Detroit fan picking him, so he's the expert.
Yeah.
I'm also not a big on Beef Stew.
You know who I would have went with, right? I mean, but don't say his name. Let's continue.
Hey man,
we all know who you would have picked, Kase.
Yeah. Oh boy.
All right. So moving on to what was in that pick before that? Denver Nuggets. That's interesting. Jokic, Jamal Murray, Bones Highland.
Yeah.
I think he loves that duo of Jokic and Murray.
How couldn't you? I said, how couldn't you? I was thinking about at 9. I was thinking about Jokic too, but I'm lucky enough to have him in a league, so I figured share the Joker love.
Yeah.
I mean, and I have no Jokic stock. I really wanted him.
I mean, think about this though. That pick, that was the 12th pick. Jokic went to the 12th pick.
Yeah, crazy.
And Murray. And Murray.
And that showed you how much of a team aspect, salaries, age, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
really comes to play. But yeah, like you said, the MVP, who is the how Harden was just far ahead in value. It's Jokic's turn right now, where it's just no one's even close to his value right now. So to see him go at the 12th pick is pretty. I mean, but if you think about the third guy being Bones Highland, that's pretty underwhelming. But I mean, I understand him picking Highland because these point guards, man, even if they go late in draft, if they get the role, it's almost like point guards in fantasy football. Fantasy basketball are almost like quarterbacks in superflex fantasy football, or should I say running backs in just one quarterback football leagues. So so point guards just are so dynamic because Jokic is somewhat of, even though he's a center, he plays somewhat of a point guard role. That's what makes his value so crazy. So yeah, Bones Highland, that makes sense. But I don't want to dwell too much. Let's move on to what was the pick before that? The Hornets.
Yeah, right? Poor Braxton. Poor Braxton.
I know that's so.
Braxton's having a rough day.
Yeah, LaMelo, Scary Terry, Miles Bridges. That's a nice trio right there.
Yeah, I don't know if
definitely a good pick.
I can't say I would have gone Scary Terry personally. No hate, but I don't think that's who I would have gone with.
Yeah, I see where you're going, but that's why we're stuck with these situations where you're just stuck to giving players that you wish you could really keep, and you just got to make that decision. So. But it's interesting to see people's feedback to say, that probably wouldn't have been my pick. But that's going to be the situation with a lot of third people's picks.
Oh, it doesn't really. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I think. At all.
I think this is what makes the player draft afterwards, after this team selection, so fun. Is I feel like everyone feels like it's just like the best 90 players are off the board. Like, not necessarily. Like, there's some teams that have at least 4 guys that would be potentially even top 50. So I think early on, and especially the first round, there's going to be some good talent still there. So I'm excited about it. It's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm. And then the pick before that was Spazzy, Orlando Magics. This one's tricky because there's plethora of options, but he went with Wendell Carter Jr., Jalen Suggs, and Franz Wagner. So that makes sense, you know.
And Elton wouldn't have taken any of them. According to Elton.
Good one.
Yeah, I mean, but I get it. Elton's a safe player, so he's not gonna like the youngins. They got to prove themselves before he really buys in. Like I'm actually shocked how much he likes Jalen Green, because I would think I would think Jalen Green will look like a chucker to him.
Yeah, it is kind of surprising.
Yeah, but he probably sees the intangibles and he looks like, you know, the prototype of like a Kobe, Jordan almost. So it's like, oh shoot, Jordan's back, you know.
Hey, so you a Rockets fan or something?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, this is completely objective view. Like, I mean, if you watch his nickname is
Kobe or Jordan. Get out of here.
I mean, if you remove all hate from your heart, you will see this. But,
he did look better toward the end of the year.
Oh wait, I can't say it. I'm on the England train.
Okay. Oh yeah, for sure. No, that's a train to get on for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What about, I like. Oh, never mind. Police myself.
Yeah.
It's hard, man. It's hard.
Yeah. Drafting season it's hard to be quiet because what's hard for me is drafting in the middle of games going on, because sometimes there's a player you may like and you're watching the game and you're like, they're about to play right now. You know, so that kind of gets me nervous a little bit. But back to the draft, you know, before Magic was the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, I was eyeing them too, but I was kind of like, no, I have to roll with my team since I have the opportunity. But you get the Minnesota Timberwolves, that's great value. Just Cat Ant alone, that's like, I mean, like you said, you were looking at Jokic and Murray, right? But I think how you saw was the difference between Murray and Ant, correct?
Yeah. I mean, I think. Well, first of all, I just freaking love that guy. He's just like both on and off the court. I just find him to be hilarious and awesome.
Oh, he's great.
But yeah, I mean, it came down because obviously there's another player there that I didn't take that I was struggling with, and I said, you know what, this is the team with, in my opinion, the two best long-term people left, and I think that Cat and Ant, my bugs and my animals or whatever on this team, I think that I think that they were the best combo of two people to move forward with, and then I mean Vanderbilt is on like an awesome contract, and you know he does a little bit of he doesn't shoot many threes. He might not shoot any threes actually, but he does a lot of other stuff, right? He gets some blocks and steals, rebounds, and you know everyone knows blocks and steals win these leagues. So
he was given top 70 value.
Yeah, way to rub it in.
He was getting minutes. Blocks and steals win these leagues. I mean, defense wins championships. You know.
That's right. And I got to name my team the Big Ticket. You know, that's mostly that also played a part.
Let me shout out the names, man, because Detroit Bad Boys, Denver Sloppy Fat Boy. All right, so when I name these nicknames, we're gonna do something. I name these nicknames, and we're gonna rate them between 1 to 10, right? So, Detroit Bad Boys. Ooh.
I like it.
Solid. That's solid.
No, I like that. I like it a lot.
I'll give that one an 8.
I'll give that one a Detroit Bad Boys. I mean, it's not a player, right? Which I think was the rule. So for that, I'll give it an 8 too. But I do like it. It sounds good.
I'm going to give it a 9 because it feels like real classic, you know?
Yeah, it's good.
It's got a good vibe.
For sure. All right, Denver Sloppy Fat Boys.
That's a 3 for me.
I give it a 0.
Boy, that's Jokic, right?
I mean, come on, you could have been the Denver
Is it?
Jokers. There's so
I mean,
good.
Denver Jokers, man. So much better.
Yeah, I know who it is. I know.
You're right. I'm a 0 as well.
Sloppy fat boys. What is that? Washed AI?
You gotta explain. No, he gotta explain the sloppy fat boys. but I guess it fits his I guess his way of joking or whatnot. But what was it? So I guess we got it rated 1 to 10. The sloppy fat. You guys said 3 0. That's funny.
Yeah, you get a 0 from me.
I'll give it a 2.
You're a nice guy.
I'll give it a 2. I mean, sloppy fat boys. It makes you laugh. It like, haha. So that's a 2 laughs. Haha. All right, so
they gave it a 2 for the 2 laughs.
Exactly. So Charlotte's got big balls. Is this a mellow ball?
Okay, I've got a problem with this one. Here's my problem. Shouldn't it be Charlotte's got little balls because isn't Lonzo the big ball?
Isn't Lonzo? That's
He's the
true.
big brother.
It's true. Charlotte's and
we should make a motion to flip that to little.
Yeah, Charlotte got a little big.
Charlotte got the little balls.
All right. So 1 to 10. What do you guys give it?
I'll give it a 7 since there's 7 crying laughing emojis on it.
Okay. How about you, Mutombo?
I mean, I'm gonna give it.
Oh, Jerome's typing.
I see it.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, he stopped.
Charlotte got big balls. I'll give that a 5.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it a 4. I think we could. Charlotte's got some good history.
That's true.
I'm
That's
weird
true. He has
about
better
that. I
options.
guess could have had some fun. We had. I mean, Muggsy was on that team. We had, Alonzo. Some good options there. But yeah, LaMelo's the future. I'll give it a 4.
Exactly. That's what the credit, giving it to the future. Orlando Diesel.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
I like
that 6, 7 for me.
I like the selection of Diesel and Shaq.
Yeah,
But I don't like the way it flows, Orlando Diesel. But you gave it a 7, Adrian. How about you, Mutombo?
I think I'll give it a 6. I like that he went with. With historical.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah, he picked the right guy. But it's funny because he could have doubled down on Shaq and Dwight and said Superman or something like that.
Oh, man, that would have been good too. But no, I like it.
Yeah, Orlando Diesel's fine. Yeah, I'll give it a 6 as well. So Minnesota big ticket. Okay.
0.
I give it an 11.
No, I think that's like an 8. I like that one.
Yeah,
not many options on Minnesota.
Yeah, I would say it's similar to Orlando Diesel. It just rolls on the tongue a little better. So I'll improve it from a 6 to an 8.
Yeah, it was that or Starbury, right? It was that or Starbury, and KG is just an all-time. So
yeah,
all right.
that's true.
Is it Minnesota big ticket or big tickets?
Wait. So big tickets. I guess probably we'll see.
I had an S on there originally, then I took it away. I might put it back. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
What you can do is put the S in parentheses.
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
Yeah. Adrian, did you say you were doing were you doing a spin on here?
I think they want me to spin, yeah, and if Jerome's gonna go, then we might have a double spin.
Oh shoot! All right, bet. Let's see. So I guess I'll do 2 more teams and then we'll do a spin. Then, all right.
All right,
let's do it.
All right. So before Timberwolves, we got my selection of the Houston Rockets. Boy, am I thankful to get my team because I know 4 of the guys that were gunning for them. Like even Spazzy, who picked 2 picks after me, he messaged me, "Yo, that was my number one team." So I'm grateful to get them. But I guess, what do you guys think about? First off, I guess the picks of Houston and Wood, Jalen, and Şengün. How about you, Breck?
I mean, I told you I'm on the Şengün train, so.
I'm so used to Brex being on here. How about you, Mutombo?
I thought you said Brex.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so used to them being on here. How about you, Mutombo?
I like the picks. I think that they're probably the right picks. I don't know that I would have made the same picks if I was picking, but I think they're the right ones.
Okay, what you think about you? How about you, Adrian?
For the picks, I mean, I'm definitely on the Şengün train. I love that one. Jalen, I think, was a no-brainer. Wood was maybe the one that's like on the fence with a couple of potential options, but I see what Mutombo is saying as far as it being like the quote-unquote right picks.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I guess the name Houston Dream Team, 1 to 10.
Classy.
I think you got to take away.
I'll give you a 7, 8.
Don't you have to take away team? And it just the Houston Dream?
No, my creativity.
Understood. I like it.
If Charlotte can have big balls.
That's true. That is very fair. No, I like it. I mean, it's awesome. What else are you going to go with? It's perfect. Houston Dream Team.
At first, I was thinking of Team Mac, but I was like, Houston Team Mac, mac and cheese. What can I do with that? So moving on. The pick before me was Philadelphia 76ers. Well, it's nice to see the homers get their teams back to back. So to see Elton get his 76ers and Embiid, Maxey, Harden, I think you guys agree those are the right picks, right?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so too. Depends, but I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because if you could look at Harden and you're like, no, you have to pick Harden, and then you think of Maxey, and you think about his salary. Okay, you almost had, because think about what Joy just traded to get Maxey. He traded Luka, to get Maxey and Bamba. So
again, Maxey, I think it's the right picks. Yeah,
definitely. And then Philadelphia answers. Philadelphia answers.
I like it. I mean,
I'm gonna give it an 8 just because I'm a big Iverson guy. So
I'll give it a 9. This is my highest rate so far.
I'm gonna give it an 8 as well. And I was surprised a little bit that even though it's kind of more current, I thought we were gonna get the Philadelphia process.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm glad he didn't, because Answers is probably better.
Yeah. Totally.
It goes more with the classic theme.
Well, an AI is just an all-timer. He's awesome.
Absolutely. So, well, we got through half of the picks. So, Adrian, you ready to do this live spin?
I can do a spin. Yeah, let's do it. Let me just make sure. Who was the last person that was picked?
Got picked. The last
Jerome,
person
right?
that landed on a wheel is Jerome.
He's off. Okay, yeah, he's off the wheel. I removed him, so yeah, I'm ready.
Let's do it.
All right. So I guess we'll do it for. It'll be 9:13 mine time in 15 seconds. So let me just do the screen recording, and you guys might hear the sound from my computer, which will make it a little fun. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1.
I don't hear it. Bummer. There you go.
All right, we got Nick
brought
Adler.
to you by the lovely sounds of Kase.
We got Nick Adler.
Hey, Nick's been dying for his name to be picked.
He has, and he's been telling me that I've been screwing him over, and so congrats, Nick. Made it into the top half.
How ironic how he was tributed in this episode, and then the spin lands on him.
Nice.
So I hope that's not a sign that he's going to win the league.
True.
All right, working on getting the recording.
15.
Nobody can say I
Hey,
cheated.
why do you say you bastard? I thought he'd be happy he gets the pick. Maybe he thinks you're kidding.
Oh, it's this Nick. I was thinking the other Nick.
Oh, you were thinking. Oh yeah. Nick.
Oh, Nick and his son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and we've got another team selected.
He said 2 picks.
Should we go for another wheel?
We are ready for another wheel.
Because Eden beat him to the punch. You know, him and Eden are fans of Detroit.
Wow. I am very surprised at these two picks, or at this pick. We've got the Celtics with Jason Tatum, Robert Williams, and Aaron Naismith.
Wow.
That is interesting.
Well, I guess because he's forced to pick under 23.
How old's Rob Will?
I think he's 23.
24?
Oh.
But yeah, Robert been drafted for a while. Like,
has he?
You know, the best part is that he misspelled Naismith. There's no why.
Time Lord's been in the league like 3 years probably now. 3, 4, maybe his fourth entering.
Damn. Time flies.
Time Lord.
But
all right, you guys want to do another wheel?
Yeah, let's do it.
There we go. Let's spin another one.
While you're doing it, I will say, like, Robert Williams, Jason Tatum together at the top of your team is a really nice start.
Yeah, it's a nice 1-2 comp. And then you got to think about another factor that we haven't brought up here are the draft picks that come along with these selections.
That's a good point. I keep forgetting about that too.
So that was something behind my selection too with the Rockets, because I got those 3 guys and I was like, oh, even though I might lose some guy that I might like, but I might get like a Chet Holmgren.
All right, here we go.
Very true.
Oh, you spread it, Adrian?
3, 2, 1,
go.
And we're going for another wheel. So you guys don't hear the sound effect of the wheel?
No, I just hear the lovely sounds of Kase.
Okay, so it's just me then.
Yeah.
So we got Joy.
Oh.
Hey. Glad I picked already.
Yeah, I wonder what he'll do. This would be fun.
I was going down the list of my little notes, and I kind of see the team he might roll with. But we'll see.
And I'm picking real late.
No, but that's the thing. Like I actually appreciate falling to 8th a little bit. That way, I got my team, and I'm not picking too late in the player draft.
Honestly, at this point, I'd rather just be like really late and be able to get like I feel like there's going to be a couple of guys in the player draft that slip through just because some teams have, like I was saying earlier, like at least 4 really solid players.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind just kind of waiting at this point.
Yeah. Once the Hawks got taken second, I hoped that I was just going to lose the draft. Not even for the players.
2 wheels.
I just want the team name, man. I just feel
nice.
I feel like I got to take a shower now that I don't have the Hawks. It's dirty. I feel like
That's
I need
funny.
that.
That's funny. But okay, so and I'm glad I brought up that I guess draft picks, because like I said, like with my Houston pick, that was a good deciding factor for me to pick them over. Well, I guess I was going to pick them. That's my favorite team. But the draft pick was convincing enough to be like, okay, I'll pass on Minnesota just to pick. Because here's the thing is that you don't have to draft your team, because if you pick a team that has more value, you could just trade for those players.
Casey, you got a top odds lotto too, don't you?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, so
coming out big, man.
Holmgren to what was going on. So, and then, the team that I'm about to mention right now, that's why I'm glad I thought about this, because moving back to the draft, Clayton, before Philadelphia 76ers, he picked the Thunder. And they have Shea Gildress, Josh Giddey, and Lou Dort. That sounds nasty as a trio right there, especially if Lou Dort maintains value. And on top of that, I know they have draft picks. I think they have the most draft picks, if anything.
He's not getting all those draft picks, is he?
He is. He's getting the top 6, the LA Clippers, 15.
He's gonna get to draft like 4 rookies.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. But I mean, if that's the way he wanted the league to be, I was like, okay, fine.
Oh, this is what I get for not reading the rules, boys. I'm a degen. I'll join whatever league you put in front of me. Does Minnesota have a pick?
and then let's just run through these real quick. I guess Oklahoma City Slim Reapers. Ooh, that's nasty. I like
it.
Yeah,
Slim I like Reapers. I like it. I give it a 9 just because I want to save my 10 in case. Actually, yeah, I give it a 9.
Yeah, I give that one a 9. But I think I see where you're going with the 10 because I'm about to go there too. That's a 9. How about you, Adrian?
I would say the Sun Reapers. That was more of like a 7-8.
Okay. All right. And then the pick before that, Indiana Pacers with Indiana. Tyrese Halliburton, Miles Turner, Isaiah Jackson. Honestly, I like that Shea Gildress, Josh Giddey, Lou Dort trio a little better. But I get it with the Tyrese Miles Turner duo and Isaiah Jackson's potential. But the name.
I'm very surprised that Isaiah Jackson was the
selection, correct?
Yeah.
Is that the under 23 one?
Halliburton's gotta be. Halliburton's not under 23?
Is he?
Maybe he's 23.
Isn't he his second?
Yeah, he just got drafted last year. I think he's like 21, bro.
He was born in 2000.
Let me see. Yeah, he's 22. Well, yeah, 22. He fits the criteria. But I guess, just want Isaiah Jackson. He probably thinks he's going to start next season. So,
yeah, he's 22.
Huh. Yeah,
interesting.
So, yeah, that was interesting to go with Isaiah Jackson, I guess. But Indiana Miller Lite.
Imagine if the Pacers still had Sabonis.
Pacers? I know, right?
Oh, crap. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to say that.
That's
yeah,
okay.
but he's probably going to get picked anyways. And plus...
Yeah, we're not live.
Yeah, it's all right. But I bet you're going to get him. That's my prediction. Adrian's going to pick that team.
No comment.
He said no comment. I don't want them. but yeah, Indiana Miller Lights. I love that. I give that a 10.
Me too.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
Miller Smoothies would have been good too.
Miller. Yeah, salute to Nate for coming up with the best name, I guess so far, but it might be the best in the league. So pick before that, Memphis Grizzlies, John Moran, Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bain. That's a solid trio.
Love it.
Great pick. Memphis, Mayo, and Pickles. That's funny.
That's gonna. The one thing is that's gonna be an expensive trio soon. Those dudes are getting all 3 of them are gonna be paid.
You're right.
Well, he's got time.
Oh yeah, he's got time.
Yeah, he definitely has time. And then the pick before that, Toronto Frozen Nips. What was Frozen Nips?
I don't remember this nickname. But I give it a 9.2.
I've got a 9 here too.
I don't even know if that's a real nickname. I think he's just throwing that in there to pick one. But that's hilarious. Siakam, Fred VanVleet, and Barnes. You know, although this was a homer pick, this isn't bad, although it's a high pick.
No, I like it.
It's a good 3.
I like it a lot.
Yeah,
I think it's a really good pick.
Yeah, it was interesting how he was hesitating to pick them. But I understand because it was so early, so you have to kind of survey the field and make sure. So,
I mean, it's like, Siakam and Van Vliet they're really good, and Barnes is really. I think it's a very solid pick.
Yeah, because they all go like.
You don't have to go like youth, right? I mean, Kase, I've drafted in leagues 12 of them. It feels like now with you. You don't ever. Actually, Colby never drafts youth either. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we never draft. Me and Colby never really draft youth, really.
I think it's on brand for Colby. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it. And then, what is it? The pick before that, Atlanta ISO Joes.
Yeah, we had to shame him out of the previous name.
What was the previous one again?
Atlanta Lou Wills. I mean, I
Dude,
feel
it was
like
hilarious watching you rant at him being so upset about him taking your team.
I mean, you guys know me by now that like that was like 99.9% sarcasm, just fucking around. But
Yeah.
I do think that almost all of the teams that we've already named could have been called the Lou Wills.
So true.
That'd be funny.
He travels around the league.
But someone did highlight the point of that him being from Atlanta. Okay, you know,
Yeah.
he's also from Philly too.
Yeah, he's from everywhere.
Yeah, but,
Oh, man.
it was funny. You know, you being, I guess, your response to your team being taken was you flaming the name. Long history of Atlanta.
Mutombo, I'm curious, would you have picked the same 3 players?
Actually, I would not have picked all 3 of these players. 2 of them, yes.
Okay.
1 of them, no.
Interesting.
And it might not be the one that you think.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, shit. Like, let's be real. Like, these are 3 really good players. But I think that in this type of league setup, I would have gotten a little funky. I think I would have done a little something different.
Interesting. Okay. And even if you were like first pick, you would have taken the Hawks.
I would have, man. I mean, the love for the Hawks just runs too deep.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, bro. The Hawks was taking second pick, and he's a Laker fan. Why would he take him first?
Yeah, I don't. Good point. I am surprised that the Hawks got picked second. I think that it was.
Yeah, it was a little early. Yeah,
especially by a like if I had done it, no one would have been surprised, right? But like from a non-Homer fan, I do find it a bit surprising that this was the second pick of the draft.
I just saw your middle finger.
I saw that too. I was going through the other reactions to see if Mutombo was included, and nope, it was just the finger.
But you know what's funny? He probably picked the Hawks only mainly because of Trae Young. Like, he probably just wanted to pull Trae Young so bad. Like, example, he drafted before me in the rookie draft in the court, and I was expecting to reach. I was reaching for Şengün. I had like the 7th or 8th pick or something like that. And I was gonna reach for Şengün, and then he picked Şengün before me. I'm like, what the heck? You know what I'm saying? But he's just one of those players too that just likes certain players, and he just goes for them. So I think he might have like a huge love for Trae Young. And
for sure, all love.
Yeah,
all love for Andrew. I'm glad that he gets to have Trae Young. Honestly, like I said, I just want the name. I don't care about the players. I just want to rep, Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Like I'd trade my team name and keep my players for the Atlanta name. So that's the thing for me.
And it's funny, like when my pick came up, when I was surveying the field, like your text of saying, man, I just want a team name just kept popping in my head. I'm like, yeah, me too, man. So I just took the Rockets without, thinking too much. So I guess Atlanta ISO Joes, did we rank that already from a 1 to 10?
Well, it automatically gets half off because it wasn't the original
it's not
name.
His name. So Atlanta Sweet Lose. What do we get?
No, it wasn't even Sweet Lose. It was Lou Wills.
It was Lou Wills. No, it wasn't. You know what? It could have been the Atlanta Lemon Pepper Lose.
Yes.
The Atlanta Lemon Peppers.
Atlanta Lou Wills. All right, I'll give that a that's my 0 right there. Lou Wills.
I do think I do like the ISO Joe name. That's a good name.
Yeah, so Joe, I give it a 7.
Yeah, I'd give it a 7-8.
Yep.
Yeah.
Around there.
All right, so last team, first team, Cleveland, and this is Jenner. Ironic how Jenner started, the first league in here in the court, and he gets to pick first here.
Yeah.
And he gets Cleveland. And it's funny when his name was picked, and the team, of course, whoever was going to go first was going to pick Cleveland. So I was glad that it was at least Jenner. Okay, that's someone I'm comfortable with getting Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? Like, he barely pops in the chat and stuff like that, so he just kind of does his thing.
He was in there for a little bit yesterday. It was good to see him.
Oh yeah, I know,
right now.
Yeah, no, it's good to see him talking. Definitely. So,
That's a nasty top 3, though.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. Everybody was going to take Cleveland if they went 1. If you didn't, you weren't paying attention.
Yeah, it's sweet.
But those 3 right there, yeah. In fact, comparing that to what Kobe has in Siakam, Fred VanVleet, and Barnes, that's not too far behind. So as much as Cleveland was valued, these top teams definitely have a lot to work with. So, but yeah, that's it. Those are all the teams that are picked so far. We've done the wheel spins.
I'd like to point out one thing, and
yeah, go ahead. Do your thing.
I see what he's doing here, Mr. Crispy Wiener with the Cleveland Big Z's. I see what you're doing with the Big D's.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Crispy Wiener, I'm on to you.
Crispy wieners. But speaking of that, sorry, I forgot. We need to rate the team name. Cleveland Big Z's. Well, what do we think?
I'll give it a 6.
So for the Big Z is that Ziljonis Ilgauskas?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'll give it better than that because it's for Big Z and it's a play on the Big D's. So I'll give it an 8. I do like the shout out to Big Z.
How about you, Adrian?
I'm gonna stick with the 6.
I might shock you. I give this a 10.
Oh wow!
Because I think there's a play on the Big D's, but I don't know if he did this intentionally. But the Big Z's, the big sleepers, like that's another play.
That's a good one too.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I give that a 10 because of that added layer. I would say, if it was intentional, I don't know if it was, but
if it's not, you get a 4.
At least it's not Sweet Lou or Lou Wills.
Dude, you're gonna trigger me again. Don't do that.
All right, though. So, anything else you guys want to add about this league? Anything you guys find interesting? Anything you want to bring up about the drafts or the rotation police zip up the lips?
I'm just looking forward to another fun league.
Yeah, I am too. Another fun league with this group that's become a really fun group to play with. It's awesome. So I'm looking forward to it, and we'll see what happens.
Nice. Yeah, I'm just happy. I finally own Jalen and Şengün. Finally, I've been trying to get this since the minute they were drafted, and I'm not now. Well, I guess I own them in some other leagues, but I wanted to drop them. But I've just been holding them because Jalen's on one team and Şengün's on the other. But now
you can drop them.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm elated right now. I'm probably gonna celebrate. I don't even drink like that, but I'm probably gonna drink tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, he's gonna party.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let my kids stay up till 11, 12 probably. You know what I'm saying? Celebrate, but yeah, this definitely looking forward to this draft. The draft is always exciting, and also shutting people up when they start to talk about rotations and playoff and players.
Yeah. There's one team that hasn't been picked, and I'm actually really surprised hasn't been picked, and I'm curious to see when they're gonna go because I think they've got 3 really solid players that. Get excited about.
Okay.
I'll tell you guys. Should I say it right now?
Well, here's the thing: is that I think high chance that we're going to be done with that draft before we even say the team. But I I would say, I mean, you don't know which players they're going to pick, and I don't know when I'm going to drop this. So
True. So I won't say it.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, say the team but not the players, or don't say anything at all?
I guess it's safe to say you can say the team.
I'm surprised.
Oh wait, Adrian, did you pick yet? No, you didn't pick
I
yet.
haven't.
Oh, okay. We'll save it.
All right, bet.
Dang it, Kase.
I'll write it in Sharpie and date it and take a picture, and then and we'll see what happens.
Because trust me, Adrian's the last person you want to help.
Yeah, he doesn't need help. No one needs help. He's probably thinking the same thing, right?
Because he don't need help. Exactly.
I'm gonna message it to you who I think it is, and you just gotta tell me if it's right or not.
All right, I'll say yes or no, and that's it.
All right, bet.
Are you doing it right now?
If I can find you. When do we last speak? I'll put it in our chat here.
Okay. I'm staring at the screen, waiting for it to pop through. No, that's not it.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna send you one and let me know if this is it.
Okay.
You already put it in the group thing. This is who I'm thinking. Did you get it?
Oh wait, no. Where'd you send it? Oh, I got it.
This is who we put.
I was thinking them, but not for this. I'd been thinking about that team, but no, actually, neither of those teams are the ones that I'm thinking about.
Okay. No, but that just shows you how the value is really spread out between the teams, but it's really those last 4 or 5 teams that's really going to eat crap. So
I'm ready for it. I'm ready to eat.
I messaged it to I messaged it to Kase.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, should we wrap this thing up? I feel like we've
definitely.
Who's gonna listen to the end?
Yeah, I think people in Big 3 gonna listen to the end. But
I was kidding.
For sure. Oh yeah, for sure. But to wrap this up, you're gonna miss gems if you don't listen to the end. So it's on you. But to wrap this up, I'll say this: opinions, not facts. Anything you disagree with, leave us a comment, send a message. Always willing to debate and see other perspectives. And next episodes, I'll probably have other finalists on to analyze the season from their perspectives. And with that being said, thank you for listening to the Kase Court Podcast. It's your boy Kase, the realest basketball fan alive, and I'm here with your boys Adrian and Mutombo, and we out.
Peace.
I've been killing all these suckers where they at, man. Seeing through your cat, cause my vision is a CAT scan. Trying to get up in the game like I'm Pac-Man, so I'm blacking out on the track like I'm Batman. Call me Captain, always gotta look for him. Beat so tight, I almost put a hook on it. Verse so fire, I almost put a cook on it. Had this shit jumping, looking like I put a foot on it. Got 100 on the dash when I book Sonic. Only game that I play, got a rook on it. Got a flow so hard that it looks solid. Y'all be cynical, pitiful, read a book, college. Running the day with punting like Weezy. Your baby stunting to Satan, I'm paying nothing to sofa like David Ruffin. All these niggas gossip about, get why they hating them. I ain't singing to these bitches, I leave that shit to Drake and them. Pull up in the all black, but I never was saving them. I was probably just slaying them, nigga barely was dating them. I can do this till I'm 50 cause I rap with the cars. You gon' quit it when you 30 cause you rap in the car. Swear your shit up the song. I've been killing all these suckers where they at, man. Seeing through your cat, cause my vision is a CAT scan. Trying to get up in the game like I'm Pac-Man, so I'm blacking out on the track like I'm Batman. I've been killing all these suckers where they at, man. Seeing through your cat, cause my vision is a CAT scan. Trying to get up in the game like I'm Pac-Man, so I'm blacking out on the track like I'm Batman. I've been rolling dolo on them, I don't need me no robbing, so I be running through paper that be thick but no robbing. Man, I grew up in the city where them niggas be robbing. I ain't stressed stressing, I ain't messing with a bird like a robin. Many niggas acting reckless, I approach it with caution. Finesse it how I move, but go harder than Rodman. Even at the bottom, I reach up for the top, man. This is how you elevate from worker to the boss, man. I ain't Mike Posner, I ain't posting too often, but I'm trying to run the map from LA out to Boston. Relationship goes, what the hell is she talking? I'm just trying to bang go something like Andy Dalton. Niggas say they ballin', well, how much did it cost? And I ain't talking LA, but these niggas be dodging. Looking for the competition, feeling like I done lost them. Cause it's murder that I wrote, caught a coroner's chalk and don't get lost in the sauce, fan. Suckers where they at, man. Seeing through your cat, cause my vision is a cat scan. Trying to get up in the game like I'm Pac-Man, so I'm blacking out on the track like I'm Batman. I've been killing all these suckers where they at, man. Seeing through your cat, cause my vision is a cat scan. Trying to get up in the game like I'm Pac-Man, so I'm blacking out on the track like I'm Batman. Blacking out on the track like I'm Batman. Blacking out on the track like I'm Batman. Blacking out on the track like I'm Batman.